Good morning, all of you. I hope you all are fine. We are going to discuss part 2 of data protection, chapter number 12. In our previous session, we have discussed about some threats to data, and in which we have covered the topics like computer viruses, spyware, adware, spamming, PC intrusion. These all things we have covered in our previous session. Today we will be discussing about eavesdropping, phishing and farming and cookies. So these are the things that we are going to cover today. Okay, so just let's start with the topics. The very first thing is that is eavesdropping. Now what are eavesdropping? Eavesdropping is a passive attack in which an attacker gains access to the communication medium through which some communication is taking place. Now what you have to understand, first of all, what attacker is going to do here? He or she is going to gain the access of the communication medium. So it means they will actually capture the information from your communication medium. Means it is not from your system. Via communication medium they will gain access of your information and then listens to the communication and gets information about the content of the message. Means actually what they are doing, they are intentionally they are stealing your information from the communication medium, and then they try to listen and try to understand that what you have actually stored or what type of message you wanted to pass from one place to the other place. Then next we are having is phishing and farming. Now see, these are two terms which are actually you will feel like very similar with each other. Very first thing is your phishing. Okay. Now phishing is an attempt to grab sensitive information and identity such as credit card details while doing online transactions or e-marketing indirectly, username and password while using personal email account or other social networking sites. See, basically what they are saying, that how they can grab your personal information or your sensitive information. The very first thing is what the attackers wanted to do, wanted to grab your sensitive information or your identity. Okay, how they are doing? Suppose they wanted to steal your credit card details, how they will do? When you will be doing online transactions, okay, or when you are doing e-marketing directly or indirectly, indirectly money. Okay, then username and password, how they are taking or getting your username or password? If you are using any personal account or social networking sites. So there are actually so many ways through which they can get your informations. Okay, now the term phishing sounds similar to fishing due to the use of bait to catch the victim as the people for while catching a fish. Actually, when we wanted to catch for a fish, what we are doing? Okay, simply waiting for the correct time, and when the time comes, and that time we are catching the fish. Similarly, this particular fishing, in this what the attacker is doing, actually attacker is simply waiting when the communication, when you are sending any information via communication message, then and there that attacker is going to attack and will be using your information. Okay, then next is what is farming. In a farming attack, you might be misdirected at any time and you won't even notice it. Okay, for example, you wanted to download any music, you wanted to download any movie. So many times what happened, you are clicking on download now, and directly or indirectly you are redirected to the other so many pages. So this is what actually called as farming. Sometimes you don't know that how you went from one page to the another page, but it is very common that you are carried or you are taken from one web page to the other web page. So therefore it is written here, you might be misdirected at any time and you won't even notice it. Means you will not come to know that you have been redirected until or unless you are not taking care of it, or until or unless you are not paying proper attention in this. Then everything you will type in will end up in the hacker's hand. and once you are redirected to the other page, then after that if you are typing anything, all that complete information will be in the hacker's hand. Okay, then after that next we are having is difference between phishing and farming, because as I said that these two terms seems similar to each other, so you must know the differences between the phishing and the farming. In phishing, attacker tries to find the sensitive information of users by the means of electronic communication illegally. So basically what the attacker is doing, it is finding or getting your sensitive information through electronic communication, and that also illegally. It means it is not allowed to steal your information or to get your information, sensitive information, via communication channel. Okay, then next we are having is the farming. Farming is more advanced technique to get users credentials by making effort to entering users into the website. So basically in farming what they are doing, they are actually redirecting a person from one page to another page, and in that other page attackers are asking the user to feed their sensitive information or their credentials, and then later on it will be used by them for their purposes. Then next we are having is cookies. Very common terms in the field of computer, that is cookies. Now what are cookies? Now when we talk about cookies, it is given over here. These are the messages that web server passes to your web browser when you visit internet sites. Now see, whenever you open any website, some piece of code or some information is stored in your system via that website. That information is called as a cookies. Okay, once the information is stored in the cookies, what benefit you are getting, that next time if you are opening the same website, now in that particular case whatever information is stored in your system will be used from the system only. Remaining all information will be used or will be fetched from the server side. So therefore for the first time whenever you are opening any website will take more time, whereas if you are opening the same website again and again, next time the size or the data required will be less. Okay, the reason is because some of the information of that particular website has been stored in the cookies. Now your browser stores each message in a small file. When you request another page from the server, your browser sends the cookie back to the server. Okay, so it means what happens, that when you request any other page from the server, in that particular case it is your browser will send the cookie back to the server, means from the cookies only the information will be sent to the server. Even sometimes we wanted to log in, sometimes we are writing whenever we are entering user id and password in any login page, and then one checkbox is there, remember this login id and password. Whenever you are clicking on that, your that information is also stored in the cookies in your system. Okay, these files typically contains information about your visit of the web page as well as any information you have volunteered, such as your name and your interest. So basically what cookies are doing, they are keeping track of your interest. This is, see, very common example. Suppose you wanted to buy something. For example, you wanted to buy any book. If you are searching for that book, now you will be getting so many ads, and once you have searched for that book, now you will be getting so many ads related to that particular book only. Okay, why? Because your habit has been stored in the cookies, and then from the cookies other websites are gathering the information about your habits. Okay, now what are the benefits of cookies? First of all, no doubt it has its plus and it has its minus. We have to decide according to our requirement whether we want cookies to be stored in our system or we don't want cookies to be stored in our system. Completely depend upon your system, your choice, the type of information that you are having in your system. On the basis of that only we used to decide that what type, whether we wanted to store anything in the cookies or not. Last is Cookies are used to make users' web experience faster, convenient, and personalized. Okay, we can store our personal information in that cookies, so that next time whenever we are opening a particular website, our personalized information will be shown. Okay, so the general information will be not so shown. Suppose if I have selected or I have saved any theme or any design that to be shown in my particular account, so all those informations are actually stored in the cookies whenever you are going to open that website. So from the cookies only your interest based theme will be applied to your account. It is given here, another example is given here. For example, you can select a language to view a website the first time you visit it. When you visit the website again, it will save your preferences. Okay, so generally we can give our preference that we wanted to see any page either in Hindi or in English, whatever language you will be selecting. On the basis of that only remaining page will be shown to you. I hope these all points are clear to you. Fine. So now next time we will be discussing about data protection solutions. Till this time I would suggest you to read chapter 12 up to page number 487 of your book. Okay. Read the chapter properly, carefully, underline the important statements so that it will be helpful for you in your exams. Thank you so much and God bless you.